monkey. When it wakes from the dreams, we say, so say clear, and don't think we
Football is the nation's favourite sport. Each week, millions of us play or watch it. But along with the game's ability to bring people together, it can also foster hate. I head to Somerset to speak to a professional footballer about the discrimination he's faced playing the game he loves. I want to find out firsthand the effect racism has from someone who plays football every week professionally. That's why I'm here at Yeovil Town Football Club. They currently ply their trade in the 4th Division of English football, League 2. Out of their 24-man squad, around a third are of black ethnicity. Reported incidents of discrimination have risen for the 5th year in a row. Kick It Out received over 450 reports last season, a rise of 17% from the previous campaign. Nearly half of these reports are race-related. A survey by the Football Supporters Federation found 3 in 4 people believe football stadiums are more welcoming for ethnic minorities than a decade ago. Soko has played over 500 times in 4 countries, so if anyone knows the impact of racism, it's him.
I have some experience like that, but if you have the problem of that, it's you have the problem. I don't have the problem, so I don't see myself to put myself on as to be sad or to be frustrated. No, I feel bad for you.
And has that racism just been from fans, or have you also seen it from fellow players as well?
I've been in one game in France, and of course, yeah, it was the first time I would confront the fans, like they was just doing the monkey song, thing like that. Yeah, it hurt me a bit because that is stupid, but I say, what you want to do? I can't fight with everyone to say how they have to behave. I just go home, speak with my parents, my brothers. They say, look, this is the world where we are. We have to deal with that.
And how much of a problem do you think racism is then in football today?
I think when we say racism in football, it's a little bit hypocrite. I said the word is hypocrite because racism is not something with football. Is the life we live. Is people don't come in football and they turn on racist. You are what you are on a day. If they do it out of football, they will do it in football. So I don't like it in football. You never can say no racism in football. If you have a racism on the everyday life, you're gonna have racism on football. So it's like that, see the things.
Speaking to Francois really made me think. Do people go to a match intending to be racist, or can a crowd change the way they act? I've seen myself the extreme emotions football can bring. There's obviously no excuse for any type of abuse, but I wanted to find out if there was a link between emotion and crowd behaviour. Dr. Kevin Thomas is a psychologist who has conducted extensive research into how emotion can affect a person's judgment.
Football fans will probably identify with fellow fans of their club and disassociate themselves from fans from their biggest enemy club, as it were, or other clubs. And so that's to do with your identity as well, and that can affect your decision making. But you would go along with that if you think that's what's known as the group norm, the way the group behaves. And if you see yourself as a central member of that group, then you're going to go along with that and identify more strongly with the group. But it will depend on how closely they identify with the group and the importance of the group to them and their self-esteem and their identity. If they see, if you cut me like a stick of rot, Arsenal runs right through me, or whatever it might be. If they see themselves as this is who I am, this is such an integral part of me, then it will influence them more.
Show Racism the Red Card is the UK's leading anti-racism educational charity. They work with players and clubs to deliver talks to over 50,000 people every year. I spoke to their Deputy Chief Executive, Paul Kearns.
The basic premise of the campaign is working with young people whilst they're forming their opinions, whilst they're developing their own views of the world. Like I say, everything that we've done over the last 20 years proves that the model works and that attitudes and behaviours can be changed. Racism within Stadia has improved massively. We've come a long way from the mass chanting that we saw on the terraces in the 1970s and 80s, and there is still an issue. It's nowhere near the level that it was. One key incident that stands out to me in the world of football is when Danny Welbeck was racially abused by a guy when he was playing at Chelsea, and the next day the photograph of the perpetrator was on the front page of most national newspapers. Now, when I grew up, it wasn't even mentioned on the back pages, never mind the front pages.
At the start of this documentary, I set out to find out the truth behind one of football's most shocking open secrets. Whether someone's being deliberately abusive or they just see it as a bit of banter, racism in any form is wrong. It's unacceptable and it can have a lasting impact on someone's life. However, racist attitudes are changing. The work of charities such as Show Racism the Red Card is helping to do that, but there's still a long way to go. Face it, it's racist.
Face it, it's racist.
Face it, it's racist.